Holy shit. Doing it again. First things first though. Get my mute button ready. Oh yeah. Take another crack at They Are Billions here. We are at Sunday, December 24th. Merry almost Christmas and whatever else you guys celebrate. I'm just gonna make a new game because it's been a while. We're gonna go back into Twitchy Ton. It's gonna say, hey, you wanna delete it? Yes, I do. Deleting it all. So let's try this again here. I was starting to get a feel for it the last couple of streaming days, feeling like, it's time for another crack at it. I've taken a good break, and it's probably going to take a bit of time for me to get back into it, but now I'm walking in with a reasonable baseline of expectations here. This is a great zombie survival base builder. Definitely one of the more promising early access games I've seen this year, if not in the last quite a while, to be honest, really. It's been disappointing to see the number of questionable releases that people have to then, dig into and say, look, am I actually getting anything for my money here? Are you guys just abandon wearing this? It's been a real challenge, and I think it seriously devalues the potential for early access if that shit goes down,
Understood.
So let's take a look at what we got here. First of all, I'm quite happy with what we see here. 2 exits, can't get much better than that. We've got tons of wood, great. We've got tons of grass, great. We've got some stone sections so I can feel good about putting my houses in places where they aren't going to interfere with my industry. Got some stone, fantastic. Can't argue with that at all. So let's start by popping down some houses here. We're just going to pick a nice, unassuming spot. Actually, wait. Before I do that, let me just get a feel for food output here. 14, 13, 14. Feeling good about food there. Not enough resources. Ooh, there's gonna be some good stuff there, though. Oh, wait a minute. This costs gold? Okay. Whoa. Okay, so noted. We're gonna put one there. So then let's say here, and just trying to find a place that won't be intrusive to my industry. We'll say there. We'll have the food place there, and then that'll get us cooking here. Sweet. Okay. Next objective is going to be to get up some basic defenses here. Look at this section. This is great. You can't go through there, right? It's not an entrance. Perfect.
This better be good. Great. You again.
Fantastic. First eyes on some Zambles.
This better be good.
Just gonna shimmy over here.
Of course, my commander. Any orders?
Gotcha.
Oh my god, look at these beautiful chokes. This might be one of the best starts I've had, so I really want to put an effort into not screw this up.
You again.
So let's just hop up here a little bit into firing position, start chipping away at those guys.
Right? A new task.
Oh, you're actually got some people to chip away at there. Let's see here. My biggest issue is I always end up, or I frequently end up, just allowing a lazy single zombie through.
Attention.
Okay.
Building completed.
So let me start with a little bit of background here. We'll let this churn away. I wish there was like half speed, so I could kind of have it going without it being too overwhelming. Because this game has the potential, I feel, to be one of those overwhelming strategy games. But the pause function helps. So let me take a moment while I'm building my next couple of houses. So this is a city building game with obviously the steampunk zombie survival elements to it. So it ends up in a situation where we're building our colony up. The world is overthrown by a massive apocalypse of zombies. and we are trying to be one of the few last bastions of hope for humanity. Now that occurs in a number of ways. First of all, there are these static clumps of zombies, which are usually pretty low level, so we can usually put in some damage on them and you know, plink away at them as we are here. There are some elements similar to Red Alert in that your troops, after taking enough kills, end up gaining experience, and they end up reaching a quote-unquote veteran status. And I think it, at least for these archers, it like doubles their damage output or more. So I've found great benefit to starting by training these guys up. I might even bring this guy up here to join in the fun
Better be good.
Commander?
and just get
You again.
some
Are you sure?
Zamble on arrow action going on here,
Tell me. All right.
because I really just want my first starting squad to be as powerful as possible. As you can see here, the way these, the way the resource exploitation works is in you make a building, and for each type of building they have an exploitation area. So there's a benefit to positioning them very carefully. So if I put one here, it only gathers from water. So if I put a fisherman's cottage here, it only gathers from water in that area. And you can see that they cannot, you can see at the bottom, there's already a building getting resources in this area. So you can't clump them. So you can't just mass resources. Land is everything. So the careful, methodical, yet somewhat aggressive expansion of these colonies is going to be big. It's a big factor in this game, and you need to be aggressively pushing forward. You can see at the bottom left here, there's tons of different resources, all the things you'd expect. Is there? Oh, why is this cut off? That's weird. Whoops. There we go. There was a weird crop setting there. Okay, sorry. So, our resources. We've got gold. You get it from houses, and you get a base amount from command centers. You can also mine gold on the map, which I don't think we see any here. It looks very similar to stone. It's just a little more glittery. But houses are your primary source of money, and they get dropped into everything. You spend it on walls, you spend it on turrets, you spend it on more houses, you spend it on upgrading shit, you spend it on troops, everything you could think of. Gold is everything. You know, everything revolves around gold, and gold is what we use to access the rest of the resources. So next up we can see is wood, which we can see if you look at this sawmill here. There's very specific requirements. So it's, you know, workers, energy, and then gold, right? So gold comes into play everywhere here. We'll let this roll through. I'm gonna actually just throw down. You see, what I want to do is throw down these tents to improve my gold income here, but we are running out of food, which is great because we've got these going. So let's just let this churn away,
Attention.
and we'll chip
Building
away
Yeah.
at this zombie here. Zombie group here.
You are gonna paint
These guys are going through. These guys are going through. Good.
Attention.
My main concern is this gap here. So as things heat up here, I might fall off a little bit. We've got more food. Now, as I was mentioning, because of these, you know, resource buildings, this stone deposit here, I want to be real careful about how I place my buildings around this. Ideally, I would want one stone quarry kind of mining this half and one mining this half. I've already kind of screwed that up. This house will have to go eventually. But I want to be real cautious about how I position around this here to ensure that, one, I'm not blocking off, you know, worker movement or, well, no, more soldier movement, so that I can, you know, get from here to here in an emergency without having to go all the way around, right? So pathing is a big deal. And let me just throw down some walling. Just gonna start up some basic defenses here. keep things churning. Something I always struggle with in games like this. If a game gives me a pause button, I tend to overuse that pause button. I'm the kind of guy who will like start a new game, and I'll play this new game the first 5 minutes and be like, damn, I wish I'd done that differently. Damn, I wish I'd done that differently. And then we go from there. Let's just move up there. So I've got to be real careful while I'm streaming to not be too bad about that. All right. Just gonna have a bit more of a comprehensive positioning here, so I don't want anybody sneaking through here. We've cleared this whole passageway here. Man, again, this is a great starting area as far as I've seen. Positioning wise, this feels really good. Gonna have to throw a stoneworks down there, so I want to wood, gold. Need more gold. Alright, let's just throw more housing down. And okay, another example of me not kind of abusing the pause button more than I perhaps should. Get some more fire on this here. The little guys take 4 shots, so 2 archers are able to do a lot of damage right out the gate here. And there's definitely a challenge of macro versus micro here, because I do find myself getting sucked into the game's micro and not...
No, I'm not pointing any fingers, but I heard somebody around here needs a mayor.
Okay, so as I gain more citizens, it gives me a mayor option, and I just get 2 random rolled benefits. I'm gonna grab energy supply, because at this point it's a game of ramping right now. I'm gonna grab the 12 here. I think it's always a question of, if I get 9 here, does that mean I'm gonna slot something in a bit closer? And I can see with my finger, I'm just gonna put my finger on the screen where that last topmost corner of green is, and I can see that really that point is not going to be instrumental here. Nah, it's going to be fine. So I'll throw it on the 12. I'm able to quickly deduce whether or not that's a worthy sacrifice, and it wasn't, so forget that. So wood's coming in, good. That's going to give us 12 wood per rotation. Each building like this has its own rotation. This bar fills up. Command center gives me money. I think the command center just pulls in money from all the village towns, or all the tents. So that's fine. So we'll let that go. And being cautious, but also also somewhat bold, you know, trying to find a nice balance.
Attention. Building completed.
I'm gonna find myself a little resource blocked here in a moment due to the due to the fact that it took so long to get my sawmill down. Just gonna shimmy these guys up a little bit. Keep pushing up, keep an eye out. Wood is complete, so this is gonna pump out a bunch of wood. First thing I'm gonna do, I think, with my wood is probably finish this wall here. And then once this area is clear, I'll have some sentries posted. Just some archers. The archers do good damage. They've got good range. So they're of comparable damage. They're not great. You can see the attack speed is now attack speed in this is attacks per second, not seconds between attacks. So higher is better for attack speed. So